Hello, chat. Hope we're all having a great Tuesday. We are going to play some Mario today. Yeah, that's the gist of it. We're gonna play some Mario today. That hack that we were playing just the other day, Songs to Die to. We're gonna continue that and maybe finish it. It didn't seem like it was particularly long. It's only got 9 exits and we already did 2 of them. So yeah, that's the plan. That's the plan, and I'm feeling pretty alright today. I feel very well rested and just ready to tackle the week. This title screen is kind of disturbing though. So don't really wanna linger on that for too long. Why does that look like that? Oh, there we go. Okay. The window, for some reason, was just ever so slightly smaller than normal. Oh. It looks like it's ever so slightly larger on the left than normal. There we go. Yeah, there we go. Fixed it. Some weird aspect ratio fuckery was going on. Okay, but yeah. This had some really... The first levels had some really nice music choices, and they were just fun, so I decided, you know, let's go with this. It didn't seem like a hack that a lot of people were playing, so I decided to just give it a go. That being said, let's just fucking go. Let's just go right back into it. Am I supposed to? Okay, yeah, I'm supposed to immediately grab that shell. Okay. We might have stumbled onto something much more difficult than the first 2 levels. Okay, so yeah, I need to bounce off this immediately, but not hold the jump button, I guess. Need to get just a tiny bit of air. That way I have enough air time to position myself properly. The first 2 levels didn't seem that difficult, so hopefully that trend continues. I mean, we beat two exits in just over a half hour last week, so I'm hoping that just continues. Although the start of this level is concerning. Because this is immediately more difficult than anything I've had to do in a while. With this trick, this setup here is strange. But yeah, I'm planning on having a pretty action-packed week as far as streams go. I'm streaming for the next 4 days straight. Every single day, at least 1 stream. And on Thursday, that one's probably gonna be pretty brief. It's probably just gonna be me trying out Ingrid, because she comes out on Wednesday night. Lorelai has a 60 stream streak. Holy hell. Holy hell. That's a lot of streams. Yeah, this setup is weird. Do I want to just do it immediately? No, I think there's a slight delay to that. Yeah, there's a slight delay. I haven't done shell jumps in a while, so this might be... Oh. This might be a problem. Wait, what am I doing there? Oh wait, no, I'll just bump that shell if I already have a shell in my hand. Okay. I was confused. I was like, do I throw my shell there? Don't hold it, just... That was too long of a delay. But yeah, I think the stream on Sunday sort of like invigorated me, made me want to stream more, because when I was making the schedule, I was thinking to myself, yeah, I just want to stream. I just want to play some games on stream and yap with some people. And it's nice to occasionally have a stream that's not draining, but rather invigorating, because typically streaming, like, I enjoy it, but it does sap quite a lot of energy. Can I just bounce to the next obstacle? I feel like I can. And maybe that shell just drops there so that I have an obstacle I need to avoid. Oh yeah, I wasn't like performing particularly well. Don't feel like I was yapping quite to the level that I want. On Sunday, but I was just having a good time. No, you definitely need to do something there, but what do you do there? Because if you just throw the shell, it's gonna destroy the other shell. Right? I'll hold forward and see what happens, right? I need to just get some more information while I'm over there. Damn it. Way too late with that shell jump. So we might be stuck on this level for a while, just because this beginning part here is testing some things that I'm uncomfortable with, not consistent with. But that's fine, that gives me time to just yap about nonsense. The timing there doesn't seem like I would be able to bump that shell. I just hold right. Yeah. So what am I doing? Yeah, no, I can't quite make it there in time. I guess maybe I'll just try to throw the shell in the bucket there and just see. That seems like it might be what I'm supposed to do. I'm not sure. I'm gonna yap now about nonsense. So, unfortunately, I've been spending a lot of time recently just in my downtime browsing Reddit, right? I don't know why I'm doing it. I don't find the website to be particularly stimulating. I don't find it to be like a a place filled with conversation that I actually enjoy. It's mostly just like, it honestly just feels like the same topics just over and over and over, right? When I'm browsing through Reddit. But I recently discovered the power scaling Reddits. So like Naruto power scaling, Dragon Ball Z power scaling, that sort of shit. And boy oh boy are those people just absolutely miserable. I only looked at 2 or 3 different posts, right? On like the Naruto power scaling Reddit, right? But the essential components of discussion there seem to be someone being like, could X character defeat Y character if this variable was introduced, or that variable was introduced, or why did Kishimoto say that this guy was so strong and then show that he wasn't strong? Right? And then a couple of people engage with it being like, well, actually this is how it works, right? So and so has these techniques and he could do this versus that person, right? And then like just several people just being like, fuck you, you're a dumbass. That character's weak as shit. He'd get blown the fuck out by any Boruto character. And it's just like, oh, okay. This is exactly what you would expect, unfortunately. Oh, okay, so you can throw that in there and it won't destroy the other shells, so that's what you're supposed to do. Right, and then the other type of post that I saw was just like, could XYZ character beat Gojo from JJK? Or another variation of that, how many XYZ characters could beat Gojo? Right? And that shit is just wild to me. That shit is just wild. Ugh. Sorry about that. I had to sneeze. The allergies are bad this year. But they were pretty bad last year too, so. Power scaling subreddits are full of delusional dipshits who simply cannot read. Yeah, essentially. Dipshits who cannot read and cannot understand context. I saw a post that was referencing something Stan Lee said a very long time ago, right? Back when Stan Lee would answer a lot of fan mail about, comics he was writing. And Stan Lee essentially said, who would win, Spider-Man or the Hulk? Whoever the story calls for. And I think a lot of people just, don't realize that that's how power scaling truly works, right? It does not matter who has got a higher power level. It does not matter who has techniques that seem stronger or more versatile. It really is just a matter of the person that wins because the story needs them to win, or because the writer wanted them to win. And it's one thing to be like, yeah, I get that, I understand that, but I still want to have a conversation about power systems and how different powers and characters would interact with one another, right? People do that in fandoms all the time, talk about how characters would interact. But for some reason, the power scaling communities, or sub-communities, I guess they would be, just can't wrap their head around the idea of... They get so caught up on the numbers idea, or so caught up on the idea of X character is stronger than Y character because being stronger means you're better. I can't say that I like Itachi anymore, because the reason I liked Itachi to begin with was because Itachi was the strongest. And now that he's not the strongest, he's a loser, and I hate him. Right? Like, that sort of behavior. I have to throw that shell, like, right away. But yeah, I've been spending that's what I saw this morning, right? Before yesterday, I hadn't seen that there were Reddits for power scaling like that, and I was happier for it. Okay, I got a shell jump off the left wall there. I knew that those people existed, right? Those people have always existed. The people that are like, could Goku beat Superman, right? Have always existed, and they put too much stock on the idea of power levels. But I didn't realize there were still so many communities like that around and kicking. So do I want to shell jump off the wall there? No, I need to shell jump. I need to bounce it off the wall and then go down below where the munchers are and jump off of it, bounce off of it there. It also got me thinking about the idea of, like, I guess the idea of power scaling, right? And how so many of the things that I have enjoyed in my life handle scaling in powers so terribly. Even things I really like, right? Like My Hero Academia. I think it's one of the better examples of handling it okay. But comparing a power at the start of the series to a power at the end of a series like that is just kind of miserable. It shows you how, in action manga in particular, but it's prevalent in a lot of things. In action manga in particular, there's just no forethought about anything. I remember as a teenager, when I was reading and watching Fairy Tail, my biggest complaint about the series, I have larger complaints now as an adult, right? My biggest complaint about Fairy Tail growing up and watching it was just like, man, every time they introduce our super strong character, he gets beaten, and then in the next arc, he sucks ass. Every single time they introduce a character like Gildarts, they're like, well, look at this super sick thing he do, so strong, he's the strongest dude ever. And then in the very, very next arc, he loses to some jobber. He's like, consistently, that was like a thing that I hated. And I understand now why that exists, why they do that in stories like that. It's because they want to build the stakes higher and higher, and they want to show, oh, the previous strongest guy, he got beaten. That doesn't mean that he was weak, it just means this next guy is so much stronger. But it doesn't read like that when you're... it doesn't read like that when you're noticing the cycle. Oh, Bob, guess what? Chicken butt? What? Mercedes Trash Cat redeemed Gamble. Oh, that's still enabled? Well, you're not getting a Gamble, so... I didn't think to disable that because it's not one of those wheel streams, you know? It's pretty obvious we're not doing PvP variety, but you know what? I'll go ahead and fix that. Gamble is disabled, and you know what? Can I go to my... where is it? Moderation tools. Actually, I can go to it via my chat, right? Requests. I should be able to refund you. Where is the requests thing on here? No, not the unban requests. Twitch, why are you so awful? Community... activity? Nope. Why is it so difficult to find this? Moderation settings? Is it in moderation settings? No, it's not in moderation settings. Well, I'll deal with that later. You might get a refund for your points, Lorelei, or you might not. Oh, I feel really bad. On Sunday night, someone used their points to make me change color, and I said I would do it, but I was in the middle of a set, so by the end of the set I had forgotten because I was busy yapping. I feel bad about wasting people's points, especially since I was a new person, you know? But yeah, there are so many series. It's especially prevalent, like I said, in it's especially prevalent in shonen battle series, right? But there are so many of them that just they set a scale at the beginning of their series, and then they blow past that scale one time to like show, hey, look. The powers are stronger now. This one guy here is a badass. He's even stronger than what we thought was the strongest person before, right? But then they do that like 20 or 30 times over the course of the, 500 chapters that they write. And so it just loses all meaning. What the fuck am I supposed to do there? What the fuck am I supposed to do there? Oh boy. It's one of those things that as you get older, it's harder and harder to look past it, because you're just like, as a kid, you just take things at face value, right? You read Naruto, you get to Naruto Shippuden, and you realize that like the power levels in Naruto didn't make any sense compared to what the hell's happening on screen now. And you're just like, whatever. But as an adult, you're like, wow, that was really just poorly planned, or not even planned at all. They just sort of ran with it and weren't thinking about the future whatsoever. That's a big part of the reason why in my later teen years I started reading and watching JoJo's, because I really liked the way that handled things. Power creep wasn't really like a huge deal in JoJo's for the most part. Looking back on it, that's only mostly true. There are some powers later in JoJo that like invalidate powers in the earlier parts, or would invalidate powers in the earlier parts, but because they're self-contained parts, for the most part, it's alright. What other things do I see on Reddit a lot? I see a lot of just like dunking on stupid takes from Twitter. Reddit really seems to like reposting popular rage bait posts from other websites and being like, look at this moron. And, you know, that's fair. But, like, I don't know how they don't get tired of it. What the fuck am I supposed to... Oh, wait, no, wait. So does it expect me to bounce on this closer to, like, over here? And then rebounce onto... bounce a second time on this blue shell, grab the yellow shell again, and then wall jump? Shell jump, rather? It's really asking quite a lot of me. Maybe I should have gone with the other hack I was feeling. The one that was not an expert hack. Your Reddit feed is mostly research materials. Oh, that's something I recently discovered as well. I didn't realize that you could have... I didn't realize you could have porn on Reddit. I thought it was a website where, like, stuff like that was a no-no. Yeah, I stumbled across a post. I was like, what do you mean this is not safe for work? What? And then I look at it and it's like, whoa, okay, yeah, poof. That's just a pair of titties right there. And I wasn't complaining, but I was just caught off guard. In the last couple of years since the slow, painful death of Twitter, I have spent a lot of time just sort of like perusing other social medias, right? And it's funny how they're all the same, but different, you know? Yeah, I'm definitely supposed to do that, but how in the fuck am I supposed to do that? The spacing on that seems crazy. We might be stuck. We might actually just be stuck on this level the entire time. This first part, not that difficult now that I've, like, got a feel for it. But that part there, I don't really know how I am meant to get the height and the speed that I need in order to make it that far to the right. The shell jump itself shouldn't be that difficult off of the right wall. But that, I feel like that's one tile too far to the left. And that's the furthest I've made it so far. Also, one other thing I learned about Reddit is that, like, a lot of the subs' names don't make any sense. Right, like actually 0 sense whatsoever. Or they're like in-jokes that you just had to have been there. You had to have been there at the inception of the... Can you time it so you re-grab the shell for another shell jump? No. So, in order to grab a shell, it needs to be in a stationary state, right? And in order to shell jump off of it, it needs to be in a moving state. So those two things They aren't compatible. You have to use that blue shell to bounce off of to bounce off of it and jump just low enough to grab the yellow shell. Like that. There is a modified version of some shells that people put in there where you can shell jump off of it and then immediately grab it. And that's honestly one of my favorite chocolate sprites. It's the shell that you can grab as you're shell jumping off of it. Damn it. That was almost that could have been it. Maybe I don't need to be as far to the right with the burst bounce as I think I do. But yeah, to end off my story, Reddit is just a strange place because it's filled with all sorts of different people. And because there's so many different subreddits, you can sort of find a mix of both people in the far right and the far left, and you can find people that are just there for politics or just there for memes. But the one thing you're almost definitely going to find is, like, poor conversation. People aren't on Reddit, it seems, to actually, like, talk with one another. They're mostly just yelling at people. I'm sure there's a few subreddits that are the exception to that, but the exception just proves the rule. Okay, that could have worked if I just shell jumped a little better. Or shell jumped at all. Oh, that is way too far to the left. I'm gonna sound like an old man here, but I really do just miss, like, forums. I miss just talking to people on different forums. Not places like Reddit that have a bunch of different, like, sub-communities, but rather just, like, you go to a website, that website has a forum, make a specific account on that specific website, right? You make an account on that specific website. I didn't say specific twice there. I think having a one-stop shop for all of these different communities makes it much easier for people to, like, harass others or belittle others or just be dicks. Not to say that, like, back in the day when you'd join, like, a random video game forum or anime forum, there weren't dicks. There's always going to be dicks. I just think it's easier access nowadays. And it's encouraged. Encouraged to just be a dick. Because it gets clicks, it gets karma, it gets upvotes, it gets whatever the fuck, you know? I wonder if I'll ever find like a social media that I actually want to participate in. Twitter was a place where I would passively observe others, right? Blue Sky is kind of a place that's just boring. Reddit is rage baity, very rage baity. And back when Facebook was still a thing that, like, people I knew used, it was way too, insular is not the right word, but it was just way too many real-life people that you knew that were commenting on all this shit in your life, right? It's too personal. I've met some cool people, some interesting people off of social media, but it feels like the future for that shit is just all going to be awful all the time. I meant way too early with that. I don't know how to time something like that when I'm not the right spacing, the exact typical spacing that I do for like shell jumps like this, right? The 2.5 tiles or whatever. There is a way to time it. And there's a way to be consistent about shell jumping when you're that much further away, but and just for argument's sake, right? I don't really count Discord as a social media. I mean, it is a social media in the broad sense of the term, but to me, it's a chat room first, and there's a separation between those two things, because there's not like a point system or a like system or a karma system or whatever, right? You've received many pats today. You content for now? Good for you. I'm glad to hear it. Oh, too early again. Way too early. Am I throwing that there? I need to wait like almost a half a second, it seems. Damn it. Too far to the left, to the right. If I had just been slightly more left, I could have gotten that shell. Again, just hold the jump button for just a little bit longer and throw the shell half a second later. Yeah, to through the shelf there at the wrong time, and I didn't have my spacing proper. You know, I know to some degree, like, YouTube Shorts and TikTok, that also counts as social media, right? And I have spent some time recently on both of those things. I spend a lot of time on YouTube Shorts, just, like, when I'm waiting for someone, or sometimes when I'm walking my cat, I'll scroll through YouTube Shorts. And it's amazing to me. It's probably because I already, when I started watching YouTube Shorts, I had already had a YouTube algorithm that caters to me specifically, but it's amazing to me how much just absolute nothing garbage there is on TikTok. I spent maybe a week just like watching different stuff on TikTok instead of YouTube Shorts to see like, maybe there's some good content on here. And almost universally, every time I'd be like, wow, that was all hot garbage, and like incel bait, you know? Like stuff that's just going to make me as a single guy feel bad. I'm trying my best not to, not to be that guy that's like, the internet was better back when I was young, but that's genuinely what it feels like when I spend time on these popular websites. My head hurty so bad, Mr. Dreamman. What'd you do? Why did your head hurt? But yeah, I spend an hour on TikTok, and I'm just like, this generation is doomed. Your head hurts because you exist. Am I reading that right? Is that what you're saying? I don't think that's how that works. Just so you know. I exist right now, my head doesn't hurt. Maybe take some ibuprofen or Tylenol or something. Aleve? That's for headaches, right? Allergies, probably? Oh. Yeah, I did say earlier in the stream, allergy season seems like it's gonna be pretty bad this year. Also, probably the temperature shift. What's the weather like there? It's hot here, but that's not anything new. Fuck me, it was too early again. Acetaminophen. I've always in my life said acetaminophen for some reason. Probably something my mother or father said. Acetaminophen for headache. Ibuprofen isn't as effective. What's the active ingredient in acetaminophen? Acetaminophen. Let me look it up. Or is that the ingredient, the active ingredient? Blah blah blah. Bunch of warnings about what it could or could not do. Acetaminophen is the most common drug ingredient in the United States. Okay, well that's useful information. It is the active ingredient. Okay, so like the brand name would be something else. Drug names are stupid. Drug names are stupid because of the way that they're used. Some people will say, oh yes, take a Zofran, and that will mean that Zofran is the brand. And other people will be like, no, you need to take the name of the medication that Zofran is, right? And it's just this confusing nonsense. That was almost it. That was almost it there. The spacing there, I just don't know how to time this. I think I've only ever had to do something like this maybe once. You know what I do when I have a headache? I go to sleep. Or I take a hot shower. Or, if it's really bad, I will take something for it, but I'll also take a nice big old sip of alcohol. Some vodka or some rum or something tends to help. I'm not saying other people should do that. I don't think alcohol is a good way to solve that sort of problem. I do not condone drinking your problems away. But it has occasionally helped me. I feel like you're gonna faint. That sounds like a migraine more than a headache. Damn it. I still threw it too early there. I could have thrown it slightly later and it would have worked. Again, still too early. What the fuck is wrong with me? There we go. Okay, cool. And then I need to immediately throw that. Yeah, Noble, you should hydrate, and you should try to, like, relax. I realize who I'm talking to when I say that, but yes, you need to drink something. You need to just chill for a bit. If you need for us to call off, what the fuck am I doing here? Wait, what the fuck? What does it want from me there? Actually, though. Oh, it wants me. Okay, it wants me to spin jump. I'm dumb. Yeah, if you need for me to, like, ping people and let people know that we're not doing trials tonight, I can do that. If you're not feeling well, then it's fine for us to just skip out on trials for another week. I know that we skipped out last week because of someone else's circumstances, but it's fine. Give you some time to see. Okay, I'm just saying that because it's only 2 hours from now, right? And it would be better to tell people sooner rather than later. But yeah. See how you feel after about a half hour. Too early. That's typically how long it takes for pain meds like that to kick in. I wonder what it's like to live life as one of those people that just like doesn't get headaches. I'm supposed to spin jump. I'm supposed to go left. I'm not supposed to go right there. Well, yeah, I wonder what it's like to live life as one of those people that doesn't get headaches, you know? I know those people exist. People that, like, have maybe gotten a handful of headaches their entire life, or maybe even never had a headache. Headaches run in my family. My mother gets them, my father gets them. All of my siblings, we pretty regularly... I mean, it's not like every week, but one of the first symptoms we have of, like, not feeling well is just a big old headache. Heady hurt. Heady hurt? Yeah, heady hurt, sure. Head hurty. Didn't drink enough water? Guess you're gonna have a headache. Skipped lunch today? Headache. Coming down with the flu? Guess what? You're about to have a headache. Damn it. How is that still too early? Okay, that was the right timing. I didn't believe that it was actually gonna work. So I sort of just took my hand off the controller. Damn, I misspaced that, but that is what I'm supposed to do there. Don't hold that button. Now that I have gotten the setup at the beginning there more consistent, and watch, I'm gonna mess it up right here. Now that I've gotten this more consistent, it feels very, very nice to start the level this way. That just feels like a very smooth setup for the start of the level. There's nothing really awkward about it. Hold A on the left, bounce, immediately start holding the run button, and just go for it. It also, I think, sort of sets the pace for what you're going to be doing throughout the rest of this level. Okay, so I need to... I can't just hold right. I was expecting to have to just hold right and to maybe have to re-grab in between those two spinies, but no, I need to space it a little bit as well. I need to control my fall. Nah, it's too late there. I've typically been throwing too early, and that time I threw too late. You know, I'm not anti-drug. think people that are against taking medications are often only against taking medications because of misinformation or poor education, right? But something about me, I hate taking stuff like Tylenol or ibuprofen or, you know, any such thing. And I only take it when I absolutely, like, feel like I have no other choice. You know? I will let a headache get to like a 7 or an 8 out of 10 on a pain scale before I'm like, okay, fine, I'll take some medication. Even when I've had migraines in my life, which has happened a fair number of times, most of the time I just try to like sleep it off. That's honestly what should be done. Yeah, I feel like some people are just like, no, I just pop an ibuprofen every single day. I just 800 milligrams. If I just feel even the slightest discomfort, just eat that sucker like candy. And then there's some other people that are just like, okay, well, I had a pomegranate. That should help. Well, ibuprofen, no, it's poison. I would rather die. Right? I think there needs to be a nice middle ground, and a lot of people struggle to find that middle ground. But it doesn't help that when anytime I've had any sort of work done, surgeries or minor procedures, things like that, the doctors I've seen have just been like, okay, here's 2 months of extremely strong painkillers. Just take this anytime you feel discomfort at all. People in general have an awful habit of popping fever reducers the first sign of one. Yeah, that is something I've noticed a lot. People will be like, I've got a fever, time to... I've got a minor fever, time to immediately drug myself up. Time to reduce this fever ASAP, and then just get back to work. Which is bad because fevers are how the body fights sickness. Yeah. A fever is a natural response to your body seeing that something's up. We need to do something about this. I don't remember what drug it was, but there was a drug that I knew a lot of people would take like every night to help them fall asleep recently that was recently linked to higher chances at things like Alzheimer's or dementia. Don't remember what the drug is though. And I just remember reading that and being like, oh, I know a lot of people that just pop that shit anytime they're like, oh, I need to sleep right now. Melatonin? No, not melatonin. It was something else. It was like a name brand. It was what was it? Although apparently taking too much melatonin too often has adverse effects against your body's ability to naturally produce it so that you can fall asleep on your own. But that's just hearsay because I didn't actually read the article for that one. Benadryl? Yeah, I think it might be Benadryl. Yeah. That sounds correct. Benadryl is an allergy medication that gets you extremely drowsy. The sleep you get from it sucks. Is it the kind of sleep... So I've only taken medication to help me sleep like once in my life. But is it the kind of sleep where you wake up and you somehow feel more tired than when you went to sleep? Despite the fact that you were knocked out for 10 hours? Because I remember sometime in my early 20s, I was like, dude, I can't sleep. Just let me fall asleep. Let me take some, like, Tylenol PM or something. And I woke up 12 hours later, and I was like, what the fuck? Why do I feel like I could sleep 12 more hours? You've taken Benadryl once, and you slept like 15 hours and woke up feeling like death. That sounds like my experience with whatever drug it was that I took to help me sleep. Dude, we've been on this level for an hour now. It's looking bleak. I mean, we're making progress. I'm getting smoother at it, but like, damn. I'm gonna take a moment here, stretch my hand. My thumb on my right hand is feeling it. It's feeling it. But yeah, after that one night that I took, I want to say it was like Tylenol PM. I told myself I'm never taking anything with PM in it ever again. That was the worst sleep of my life. I went to bed sick and tired, and I woke up sick and even more tired. And it took me like probably a full 24 hours more for the feeling of drowsiness and just being sludge-like to wear off. This is annoying. That was way too fucking low. Why did I do that? I have to hold right there and just get the right height with the shell. Can't do this little thing where I try to aim for hitting the shell, like, down here. So y'all, I finished my playthrough last night of the Twilight Princess PC port, Dusklight. And that was just such a pleasant time. It's such a fun game. I told myself going in that I was gonna 100% it, right, and do everything. Catch all of the fish, collect all of the Poe souls. And then at the end, I was just like, I'm good. Missing 12 Poe souls, never catch the Hylian Loach. I'm good. I got all the hearts, I got all the bottles, I got all the chests in the game, right? I don't really need those last 12 Poe souls. I don't really need those. I don't really need the money that you get from that, considering I was capped on money for like over half of the game. I forgot how much there are just chests in that game that are just filled with cash and nothing else. I needed that, didn't I? Oh, don't tell me it's gonna make me do a fucking double shell jump. Don't tell me it's gonna make me do a double shell jump. That is technically progress, by the way. I guess I had forgotten because the last time I played was the Wii U HD port, and that has a bunch of chests that have stamps instead of rupees. But there are just a ton of rupees in that game. Twilight Princess is like the new Super Mario Bros. 2 of Zelda games. Actually, you know, that's not true. That's fucking Four Swords Adventures. Four Swords Adventures is just about money. But yeah, pretty fun game. And pretty amazing port. There's actually quite literally nothing to complain about with that port. It has every feature you would ever want. You could toggle them all. And on top of that, it's getting more support with time, so it's not even... I don't want to fucking do that. I don't want to have to do that. I'm gonna have to throw that shell up, shell jump with the other shell, and grab the first one in midair. If there's a trick I hate, it's having to up throw something and then shell jump immediately. Shit, I needed to do that faster than that too, fuck. So I need to throw that up as I'm landing? Okay. I need to toss it up, not throw it up. I need to toss it upwards. But yeah, because of that port, I yearn for ports of every other Zelda game like that. I think one of those PC ports, decompilation ports, exists for Majora's Mask. Or maybe Ocarina of Time. But I need that to be... I need Wind Waker, I need Skyward Sword. I need the 2D games as well. Fuck it, I need all of them. I need Link's crossbow training as well, you know? Like... just anything and everything I can get, because that was... it was bliss to play that, and to play it at a high frame rate, and to be able to toggle on and off different fixes. And the best part of all of it was that I could play my preferred version, which was the mirrored version, the Wii version. But you know, it got me thinking. I had never thought about this before, but I'm kind of sad that Twilight Princess is one of the few 3D Zelda games that didn't get any sort of sequel, right? Like Wind Waker got sequels, Ocarina of Time got a sequel, direct sequels, I mean. Breath of the Wild got a sequel. Hell, it's probably getting a second sequel. There's probably going to be a third a third Breath of the Wild-like game. But I don't know, it feels like there was more they could have explored there with the Twilight Princess concept. And they could have done a lot with a new game. That being said, I am not one of those people that adores Twilight Princess and then hates Skyward Sword. I know there's a lot of people out there that really dislike Skyward Sword because of motion controls or because of it was mostly because of motion controls. Some people complained about the art style. I think mostly people were just sort of stale. They just found this formula to be stale at that point. And that's reasonable. Because Ocarina of Time plays just like Link to the Past, which plays just like Twilight Princess, which played just like Wind Waker, yet, like, they are all very similar. Fucking hell. I'm just having such a hard time with this. The first two levels were like a cakewalk compared to this. Just hold left or right. Just hold right. You don't need to... You don't need to try to compensate like that. Oh, fuck me, really? I know a lot of people make a big deal out of frame rates being higher than 30 or 60 FPS. And a lot of times those people sound like jackasses, being like, "Well, I don't play anything unless it's at least 120 FPS, right?" So I hate talking about that sort of thing, but one of the nicest things to me was playing Twilight Princess at a much higher frame rate. It looked... The smoothness of a higher frame rate makes... I don't know, something about it just makes game worlds feel more pleasant to be in. Okay, I'm just slightly too late with that throw. Call me a snob if you must, but I really do prefer if games can be played at least 90 FPS. I will play a game regardless of, like, its max frame rate, right? If a game's at 30 FPS, I'll be like, okay, you know, that's fine. 60 FPS is, like, kind of the ideal minimum, but you take what you can get. Fucking, really? This entire time, I've had no issue grabbing that shell. But suddenly, in the last few attempts... We might be swapping to a different hack. Something easier. Something with less shell jumping. I'm stretching my hands because my wrist is starting to hurt, and that's not good. That's not normal. Usually, it takes more than an hour or so. We've only been live for an hour and 20 minutes. It would usually take at least 2 hours for me to start feeling sore. So I'm erring on the side of caution. I'm stretching each of my fingers and my wrists. If you're listening to this right now, you should take a break and stretch. Stretching is good for you. You think your headache is getting better after you've eaten a bit? Good. Good. But again, if you need us to cancel raid night, do not hesitate. You shouldn't torture yourself just so we can play some video games. Speaking of torturing yourself, it got really freaking hot in here in the last half hour. Like, it feels like it's at least, I don't know, like 85, 90 degrees in here right now. I need to move somewhere where they have mild summers. I can't take another however many years of Florida summers. Mostly because Florida summers and Florida springs and Florida falls are all the same season. And it's only really winter when it starts to cool down. I hate sweating in my sleep. But it feels like I'm gonna just have to get used to it because electricity keeps getting more and more expensive and cost of living keeps going up. Okay, I'm gonna get some water as well. Hydration is important. Bro, you want those air conditioner beds so bad? Air conditioner beds? Excuse me? What the hell is that? They make beds that have air conditioners in them? Where can one acquire these beds? I would kill for a bed that just pumps cold air on me all night. That would be nice. There's also heat in them too. So see, I would, as a Florida resident, that would be useful maybe once a year. That's not really a high priority on my list. It genuinely, last year I think it got under 40 Fahrenheit once. And that was at like the very end of December. But yeah, being able to make sure that my pillow and my mattress was not 90 degrees would be really nice. Go to BedJet. BedJet is a cheaper option. I'll have to look into that. The idea, I mean, I guess the idea is not that crazy, but the idea of putting air conditioning, putting temperature control in the bed had never even occurred to me. Unfortunately, I'm one of those people that can't sleep totally outside of the covers, right? So when it's hot out, I'm still partially under the covers despite the fact that it's hot out. There's some sort of like mental thing going on there. You're dying for it because you always wake up being too hot because your wife uses super heavy blankets. That's so relatable. Sleeping next to someone that is either a heater, right? Or prefers to have heavy blankets when you prefer to have like light blankets or no blankets is rough. You want the one where two people can choose the temperature of the bed that they want? What, like 2 separate segments on the bed? And you can control the temperature on each side? The technology these days is insane. Why am I failing this jump? I wasn't failing this jump for like a good, I don't know, 15 or 20 minutes. I was consistently getting that jump, but now it's just like I'm back to failing. I mean, I can literally see why I'm failing it, because I'm timing it improperly. I just mean, why am I timing it improperly when I was doing it properly? Like how you can control cars on each side? Yeah, like their fan can be at 70 degrees while yours can be at like 62 degrees. Damn it. At least I can do a ROM hack. You can't finish one for anything in the world. Listen, we all start somewhere. A year ago, I struggled with just like even just one simple shell jump would have me stuck for a very long time. But yeah, these things are tough. They're fun, but they're tough. I don't want this whole stream to be just this level, right? Stream's only going to be about 3 hours today, so another hour and a half or so. So I'm going to give this a little bit longer. If we aren't making any progress, then I'll swap to the other hack that I was planning on playing. This is not the hardest hack that I have ever played, right? I have played hacks harder than this. It's just, for whatever reason, right now, right this moment, this is a struggle. I think it's mostly a mental thing, because I was not prepared for this. The first two exits were quite, I don't know, they were like they were challenging, but not too challenging. I got them both done in just over a half hour. And then this third one, man. Fucking hell. Huge jump in difficulty. I think that's something that, as far as I can tell, a lot of new creators kind of struggle with when making hacks, is like keeping things consistent in difficulty, or having the ramp up in difficulty be smooth and not having huge spikes. Obviously, if you want to just have a huge spike in difficulty, that's fine. But I kind of doubt most creators want that big spike in difficulty. And if they do, they often want that spike in difficulty to be towards the end, not at the beginning like this. How did that hit me? I did the same thing I've always been doing there. Did I let go of the A button or something? Or the B button, rather, the jump button? Because I don't play on a Super Nintendo controller, I always forget that A and B are reversed. And that A is the spin jump and B is the normal jump. Really? Did that clip me? But yeah, back on the topic of like weather, I've been really struggling lately. As I'm getting older, the weather has affected me more and more and more. When I was like 19 or 20, I didn't sweat very much. Right? I could go outside when it was like 90 degrees with just like a bottle of water and just chill for a long time. Right? Now that I'm 30, ugh. I'm chugging water by the gallon and sweating bullets. Really? You didn't grab it? How did you manage not to grab the shell, you bastard? You wish you were 30? You're 43? 43 is still young. You've got your whole life ahead of you. Especially since there's been a lot of studies that show people are living longer and longer as time goes on. Feels like it's every few months I hear about another person living to be like 110 or something. But yeah, I am 40, I'm 30, right? But a lot of my what the words are hard. A lot of my friends and people close to me are, you know, in their 30s and 40s. In just a few short years, I went from being like, I'm young, to being like, I'm old, all of my friends are old. Shit, really? Fuck. Ah! Your great-great-grandmother was 101? My great-great-grandmother was only like... I mean, it was older, but she was in her 90s when she passed. I think my great-aunt is currently like 98. But I don't really know that one very well. She's like a distant relative, you know? Fuck. I choked the shell jump there because I'm bad. Okay. If we can consistently make it back to there, I have full confidence that, like, that next segment is not that hard. It's just... You're actually at the hospital when she died? You were maybe 11 or 12? That's gotta be like a kind of life-changing experience for like an 11 or 12-year-old. It's gotta give you a lot of perspective that a bunch of young kids don't have, you know? Yeah, why am I so bad at the normal shell jumps now? Being around older people when you're young, I think, is really, like, it's good for you. It gives you, it shows you do I put this? It showed me being around my grandmother and my grandfather, etc., right? Like some of the older people in my life. It showed me perspective. It showed me like how to appreciate just like little things in life. It also showed me it also showed me at an early age that like, hey, just because people are older than you doesn't mean they're not like human. Doesn't mean they don't have their own thoughts, opinions, and, you know, faults. Like my grandmother on my mother's side, she would always say, well, you know, you should have dessert before dinner because you never know. You never know if you're gonna make it to dessert, right? And sure, that's like it's like a funny thing because like she just wanted to eat dessert, right? She just wanted to have ice cream, right? But also it's like, yeah, okay, you should do the things you enjoy because you might not get a chance if you put it off. Okay, I think I'm giving this like 2 more minutes, and if we aren't making progress, we're swapping over to... I don't remember the name of the other hack. It was a hack that was marked as advanced, I think, so it should be slightly easier than this. Shit, my spacing there is bad. I'm having a hard time tossing that shell upwards, and then still... I'm focusing so hard to see if the shell gets tossed upwards in the right spot. Tossing it upwards, and then I sort of like, if I see it's going upwards properly, I'm like, yeah, cool, success. And my brain is not like, well, you know, you need to keep playing. You need to do the thing. Okay, the shell jump there was successful. I just was a little overzealous on my movement. So what do I do after that shell jump? I'm gonna go up and over and grab this shell and then just land on these dudes here, right? That's what I need to do. This is an unfortunate situation where it's like I am making ever so slight, very incremental progress at just the right time to make me want to keep going more. What the? Yeah, that was unfortunate movement. Right, I'm making just enough progress to make me go, well, I'll give it a few more attempts, but then I'm not making more progress after that. Baby steps is what's happening. Just taking tiny little baby steps. And so I'm saying like, oh, well, I'll stop soon. And then I don't. One more syndrome is what's happening. Okay, well, I didn't grab it. That's so fucking unfortunate. So unfortunate. That's such ass. That feels like it's the end of the level too. Because I throw the shell off of this, it bounces back down over here, we land on it here, we bounce up here onto these platforms. And that feels like it would be the end of the level. You know, I think I mentioned this a couple of weeks ago on stream, but I've had yet more awkward conversations with family about, like, streaming and what streaming is and why why I'm doing it, right? And it just really is really weird to describe to someone that doesn't know about streaming under any capacity, like what the appeal is. What the appeal is for people watching, what the appeal is for people doing it. It was another conversation that was just sort of like, so people just watch you play video games? And it's like, yeah, sometimes, yeah. And they're just like, why? And it's like impossible to explain the why, because you just... There's a lot of history behind why people do this, right? Why Let's Plays started out as a thing, why people started watching them, like, why Let's Plays evolved into, you know, streaming or the other different things that people do with games now. It's almost like trying to explain to someone why you would read a book, and they're just like, but it's just words. Why would you just read words? That being said, no one in my family I've had to explain this hobby to has ever been, like, mean or condescending about it. They're mostly all just kind of confused. And confusion, fuck me. Confusion is, like, it's not a bad thing. Confusion is pretty normal. A normal response to new things. Okay. I'm giving myself a hard limit. One more good attempt, and if that's not it, then we're gonna swap. And I consider a good attempt getting to the part where I have to chuck the shell upwards. Right, so like getting to this next part after this. And I threw that too early. Oh well. And when I do swap, or if I do swap, maybe I'll be a little more hopeful. When I do swap, I'm gonna get up for a moment, stretch my legs, and turn the AC on, because it's just too damn hot in here. Oh, so Twitch has a new like way for people to earn badges in different channels, which is cool. I didn't read the whole post, but the gist of it is like channels can host events now and have specific goals for viewers to reach within those events. Damn it. Right? Specific events that you can set an event for a time period and then set goals that individuals can achieve within that time period so that they can earn a special badge. And I thought that was pretty neat. It's pretty cool. It allows people to have flair, more flair in chat, and it allows events to feel special. Or more special, right? Like, how do I put this? It gives an on-site incentive for people to run events and to treat events as something special instead of just the usual, you know, like subathon where, like, yes, it is an event and people do treat it like it's something special, but there's nothing on Twitch itself to notify you that, hey, this is a special thing that's happening. Anyway, I lied. I'm giving it one more attempt. Shit. Okay. That was the one more attempt. I will be back in a minute. I'm going to turn my AC on and swap hacks. Okay, I'm back. And while we're swapping to the other hack, how about I put a nice cat photo on the stream for us? I will provide a cat photo for free. Wow, crazy. Get to see a cat on the stream? And no one had to pay for it? Assuming I can find my photos. Photos, thank you. There we go, cat images. Yeah, let's show Jet baking in the sun. I do not know why this photo is so bright. I can only assume that the sun was shining directly on top of him. But here's Jet, soaking up some rays. As he is known to do. That's sort of a cat thing. Cats love doing that. Okay. So, recent games. What's the other one? Tilia? Was that the one I wanted to play? Let me swap to this and we'll see. Tilia is a lower intermediate hack. 12 levels, 2 switch palaces. Yes, this sounds right. Okay, yeah. So, leave the cat up there for a moment while I swap all of this hack stuff. This is Tilia by, what's your name? Naydoodle. That's all caps. Tilia by Naydoodle. Oh, I know what I need to do. This. Here we go. That will fit better. And this has how many exits? 17 exits. Okay, and we're gonna start from scratch here. We're gonna reset the timer and just go. Assuming that this wants to reset. Okay, cool. Oh, yeah, this one had an interactable title screen. Okay, cool. We only did one exit for this one. Oh, I thought we did more than that. Okay, on to the next one. Oh, I remember. We didn't finish this. We started the next one, but we didn't finish it. I remember it had the Street Fighter music. And the sticky ceilings. I remember the description of this said it has a lot of sticky ceilings because they just like sticky ceilings. And I can respect that. Putting a lot of something that you like and the hack that you make, that just makes sense. Yeah, this already feels a little bit more lax. I mean, it helps that the AC is on now, and that's helping me relax. But shell jumps are just not my strength. Oh, but I remember what the issue was with this level. The issue was that jump right there. The regrab on the first fish. Yeah. Spacing that spin jump and regrabbing onto the second fish is something I was struggling with. Yeah. Can I bounce on this? No. Okay, I didn't think so. It's only the purple one that I can bounce on. The ones that are like a living sprite, not a hazard. And that part was also difficult because you have to regrab twice there. So, there's only about an hour left of stream because tonight is Final Fantasy XIV Raid Night, and we're starting at around 6:30. So I need to be fed by 6:30. I have to end the stream and just quickly make food. I don't typically stream on Tuesdays because I like to have a break day in between each stream. But this week I just was... Yesterday I was dead tired. Chat, would you mind? I need to be able to see the screen, please. Thank you. For a while I had thought about maybe streaming our raid attempts in FF14, but it's kind of I decided against it because it feels more personal, right? Like, we didn't start this group with the intention of streaming our clears or anything. And I don't want to pressure anybody to, like, agreeing to let me stream it. If I was more content-brained, it would genuinely make some very interesting content. Especially if I edit it down. Right, so that you could see all the funny bits as, like, a compilation. But Content brain. Content brain is bad. I feel like there's been a lot of people out there that have just had friendships ruined or like drama introduced into their life because people are making content out of people make content out of just like friend group stuff. I'm not trying to cast any stones, so like I'm not trying to judge anybody, right? It's just a matter of, I think, there's got to be a limit to what you try to turn into content. And if everybody goes into the like shared event knowing that content is going to be made, people are going to be recording, that's one thing. But if you try to do that last minute or like late into the established norm, that kind of feels like a rug pull to me. Or like it's rude. Yeah, this jump is the rough one because that sprite is just weird. These green spiky dudes have a strange hurt box. Or hitbox, rather. Hitbox, hurtbox. Hitbox, it's a hitbox. Hurtbox is the thing that receives the damage. Hitbox is the thing that puts out the damage. See, now I'm just reminding myself of circling back to the topic we talked about at the start of the stream, like Reddit. I'm just reminding myself of the places that exist on Reddit that are just like... there's no real other way to put it, like support groups for small streamers. Right? Where people talk about the struggles they're having making content, the struggles they're having, you know, trying to be entertaining, trying to garner viewership. And I feel for those people because I'm not totally divorced from the idea of trying to grow viewership, right? Oh, hell yeah. Right, I'm not divorced from that idea. But I also didn't go into... I didn't come into this whole streaming thing thinking to myself, yeah, I need to grow. I need to start streaming so that I can make money and become famous, right? And I feel pity for the people that go into that. Into YouTube or streaming, doing shorts, etc. with the idea of, yeah, I'm doing this to make money and be famous. Your headache is tolerable now? Good. I'm glad to hear it. That means Raid Night can continue on. But if you need to cancel Raid Night, it's like I said earlier, it would be best if we did it earlier rather than later, but if your headache comes back and it's too much to bear, just say something. I know it feels bad to like be the one to cause an event to end, but your health is more important than that. And like if I come down with a sudden like migraine, I will be like, hey guys, I can't do shit tonight. You'll speak up if you need to, but you also don't really have an alternative anyways. What do you mean, like, something else to do? Is this guy gonna turn around? No, you're not gonna turn around? Okay, well, let's see if I can off-screen you and then bring you back. Right? I can. That's interesting. I mean, it's not useful, but it's interesting. Sleep would be impossible. Why? Because you haven't been up long enough, or because the headache would make it uncomfortable to try to sleep? It would be too uncomfortable to sleep. I get it. I understand. I mean, I was talking about the weather not too long ago, and like there are nights when it's like it is too hot to fall asleep. What the fuck? I have never seen that interaction before. So okay, so that what the fuck is that? That Torpedo Ted. That Torpedo Ted is going to get knocked upwards, and I'll get to bounce on him one last time. Seemingly. You need to go right away here if you want to do this like that. Fuck me. Fuck me. Yeah, there we go. Well. Fuck. That's gonna be tough. Because that's just a matter of getting just the right height, like... That's a matter of getting just the right height on a bounce. Can't really do any air control there because you need the speed to keep going. Okay. No one wants to hear you hum. If you find humming a little bit annoying, why wouldn't other people? Actually, you know, I don't know if other people find humming annoying. I just know that when I hear people singing or humming on stream, I kind of like... I don't get uncomfortable, but I'm just like, could you not? I am just one man, though. Maybe everybody else likes that. I know that I am not in the majority for a lot of things, like face cams. Can't stand them. I would rather not see your face. But some people don't watch streams without face cams, which is just mind-boggling to me. That feels uncomfortable to control. It's gonna take a lot of adjustment there. You know, I'm surprised Hao hasn't been here, hasn't shown up today. Wonder what time he went to sleep. I can't imagine that he's gonna miss a streak, right? He probably has the stream tab open on his computer, even if he is asleep right now. Damn it, I mistimed that. But I don't know if he's missed a single stream since I started streaming consistently. Which is just mind-boggling to me. Why is anybody watching me at any point? I just spout a bunch of nonsense about, like, whatever comes to mind, and I play video games no one cares about. I don't even play them well. There's got to be like 10,000 people better than me at Mario, at least. And as for like the fighting game stuff, there's got to be like a million. A million. And that's lowballing it. Although I guess I don't really... I know for a long time, one of the biggest ways, easiest... Well, maybe not easiest. One of the most consistent ways for people to get viewership was just to be, like, really good at the games that they're playing. And I think that's way less... What the fuck, bro? Way less successful now, right? Like, people just don't care how good at the games you are. People mostly only care about how entertaining you are. But even back when being skilled at the game was like the biggest factor to whether or not you were successful, I didn't really watch that many people that were that good at it. That good at whatever game it was, right? I never really watched the top one Mario 64 streamer. I just watched whichever one, to me, was the most entertaining. Right? Like, back when Twilight Princess was a really big speed game, I remember I watched... Who was it that I watched? What was their name? I think they've since, like, poofed off of the face of the internet for whatever reason. What was their name? MoFat? Something like that? I want to say their name was, like, MoFat. And he was a good runner. Like, he was getting good times, but he was never, like, consistently... the number one. I just watched him because he played a game I liked and he was entertaining. But again, that begs the question, why do any of y'all that pop in here, like Lorelei or Hal, watch me even for just a moment? I'm not entertaining, I'm not funny. Okay. Oh, fuck me. We do a little self-deprecation here in this stream. I don't recommend it. Self-deprecation is bad. You should hype yourself up. You shouldn't be such a downer. That being said, I cannot take my own advice because I have to be real. I have to be real. I'm just trying to be real, guys. Okay, I'm gonna shut up now because I'm starting to annoy myself. Isn't that the worst? When you're hearing your own voice and you're just, dude, shut up. Just shut up. Quit saying things. No one wants to hear that. I think part of the reason why, like, certain old school Let's Players are still entertaining to me, like, say, someone like Nintendo Capri Sun, is because he still occasionally has that feeling, and he vocalizes it. He'll be like, man, no one wants to hear that. Who cares? And I really understand that. I really vibe with that. Because, like, I know I do want to hear it, but if I were in your shoes, I would think, yeah, no one wants to hear this. Which is a very strange juxtaposition to be in. It's sort of like, not hypocritical, but it's like, what's the word? What's the word I'm thinking of? It's two ideas that kind of clash, and yet they work. Damn it. Fuck. Fuck. I guess I just like when people are relatable. I don't like when people are full of themselves or people are, like, too comfortable. There's a song lyric that I really like. I don't remember who it's by or what song it's from, but the song lyric is essentially like, the worst people to be around are the people that are, like, saved, is I think the phrase they use, but, like, essentially the people that are so confident and comfortable with themselves they have no issues, so they just say everything fully with their chest all the time. I grew up around a lot of people like that. No one in my, like, immediate family, but just a lot of people in the communities I existed in. People who think their own shit don't stink, so to speak. Oh. Okay, I don't really know the timing to that shit right there, but it seems like I can if I take my time there, so it's fine. And on the block? No. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ah. Okay. Gaining a little bit more momentum than I need to there. You know, I don't know if I'll ever find the right balance for stream like blabbering, stream yapping. Sometimes I feel like I don't say enough, and there will be like a few minutes of quiet. Other times I feel like I'm saying too much, and it's mostly nonsense. And then yet other times I feel like I'm being too real, talking too much of like too much about shit that I care about or I think about, but like, who else actually wants to hear any of that? I don't know how people that do this for a living manage to find the right balance between being their true authentic self and being an entertainer. Ah, shit. Ah, shit. Ah! Okay. That's an uncomfortable series of jumps, but it's doable. I didn't change the title of the stream, did I? No, I did not. I should do that. It's unfair to the other hack that it got named the stream got named after it, and I didn't change it to this one. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go. I can just jump on you, and that's good. Fuck. Okay, let me fix the stream title. Song Should I 2 was too hard. Tilia now. Here we go. That's what we'll do. Did I just move that? Oh, okay, it doesn't affect the stream layout. That's fine. You know, a year ago I had a stream that was pretty similar to this. I'm gonna be a little bit real here for a moment. I had a stream that was pretty similar to this in that there weren't a lot of people yapping. A few people showed up, right? But it was mostly just me talking to myself, and I deemed that stream as like after the stream ended, I was very upset. Right, I was upset about the stream because I just felt bad to mostly talk to myself, right? But now that I'm a year out from that, and like, I do have regulars, I do have people that want to watch when they get the opportunity, I feel pretty all right now. Like, sure, chat's not as active as it typically is. I'm mostly just talking to myself. But there were people that came in. There were people that stopped by. There was a new person that showed up, and it was nice talking to them. I think what I'm trying to say is I've matured a little bit, and it feels nice to like see that progress, that maturity, like in real time. Okay, so that is the block I don't want to hit. I want to go around it. Now, around the block. Okay, so do I want to... Yeah, I think I do want to just do this. Yeah, that's what I need to do. Was another hack that we played have this song? Like another recent hack that we played have this song? Because this sounds like... It sounds really familiar. No, we've definitely heard this song in a hack before. Was it recent, or was it a while ago? Fuck, how am I supposed to get enough height there? Ugh, that's gonna be a really tight regrab. That is incredibly tight. Holy hell. Oh, okay. Shell jump here. Oh, damn it. I thought he was going to jump up on the thing. If I had known he wasn't going to make it on top of the spikes there, I think I could have just gunned it and made it. The re-grabs here at the start of this are a bit rough. The rough part about a re-grab is not so much hitting the jump button after bouncing, it's the letting go part. You know? Pressing the button easy, letting go of the button hard. There we go. Damn it, not supposed to press any movement key there. You know, this is something I've talked about a lot. But I really wish I did more long streams. You know? And that's, like, it's something that's totally up to me. I just don't feel like I have the energy to do multiple long streams. You know? I watch someone like... So, someone that I watch more frequently recently is a guy who goes by the name Games in Tweed, right? He's streaming Mario at least twice a week for like 7 hours. And then on other days of the week, he streams other games for quite some time, and I just don't know how he has the energy to do it. And I believe, like, he's partnered, he's doing it, you know, full time. But I just don't know how. I don't know how anyone could talk for that long. Even if my chat was active, right? Like, and people were just giving me content, so to speak, right? Like, just reacting to chat was enough to keep things entertaining. I just don't know how someone could do that for a game like this. Especially since this is one of those sort of niche hobbies, where you're always going to get the same questions over and over. People are going to come in and be like, what the hell? Why is this Mario, but it looks like you're playing Super Meat Boy? What the hell? What's that? Right? I just don't know how... Like, I commend him for putting on a smile, a good attitude, and just doing it all the time. And he's pretty entertaining. He's a little bit on the the corny side of things, but I kind of like that. Right? Like, he has a point reading where you can change what kind of hat he's wearing and stuff like that. And earlier I mentioned people that like hum when they're playing games. He does occasionally do that, and it doesn't really bother me, right? Like, it's not my preference. Dude, why am I fucking this jump up so much? Anyway, I'm just lamenting the fact that I wish I could do more. But it's pretty clear that I'm at, not like a limit, but I'm just at a place right now where, like, I'm comfortable. And doing more than this would possibly put like a ton of strain on me that I don't necessarily need. We'll see. I am doing 4 streams 4 days in a row this week. I'll be streaming tomorrow, I'll be streaming the day after, I'll be streaming Friday as well, right? Last time I did that, I was like incredibly dead tired. Fuck me. But it's also, I just want to do that because I'm having a good time. I do think I'm going to have to change the format of how I do things at some point in the near future. I don't know in what way. I just know that... Damn. I just know that I feel in my bones something needs to be swapped around. Right, like maybe Fridays need to be changed up a little bit or something. That's really, really tight. This person, Nigdoodle, seems to like these tight regrabs. This is like the second or third time in three levels with a regrab like this. Shit. I thought they were coming back the other way. You know, I said we had heard this song in another hack recently, but I'm not complaining because it's a really good track. Like it's just a really just. It has the perfect pace to it. It's got a nice little breakdown in there. It picks up the pace around like this part, you know? It's got enough complexity to it that you're not just hearing the same thing on loop over and over. Damn it, I thought you were going to be slightly taller than that. Oh, okay. I thought for some reason I needed to just keep running in the right direction to keep momentum, but nope. Okay, cool. So if I had to compare this hack compared to the one we were doing at the start of the stream, Songs to Die 2 rather, I would say that this hack is a level where I'm comfortable doing it on stream and like yapping during it, and the other hack we were doing, Songs to Die 2, right? That third level is the level where like I would be comfortable doing that off stream if I was just focusing, right? That's how I would separate them in my mind. Because this not like that last level in Songs to Die 2, it's not so much harder than this, right? I would say it's like just slightly more difficult. Right, like one step up, which is reflected in how it is categorized on SMW Central, right? It is marked as one difficulty higher than this. I mean, not specifically this, but like the category is in, right? Okay, so I can full bounce to the left of that angel platform because there is a spot where the ceiling spikes aren't there anymore. I don't know why I keep thinking that that little dino is gonna have more height than that. Damn it. That is a really, really tight regrab. You have to be... This sequence here, where you're bouncing off the big dino and just barely missing your head on the spikes here, is really a lot tighter than it looks. I did not think I was going to make it through that spot there. Fuck me, why do I keep thinking that that's like, well, I don't know why I keep over jumping that. I think it's because I want to, like, mentally I'm telling myself I need to be as far to the right as possible. So I'm just overcompensating. There we go. Yeah, I can just do this. Cool. Ah, damn it. I need to be holding the jump button. That is good progress, though. You know, it's almost June. June's in a few days. I should start planning my, my stream anniversary stream. So I'm gonna be vague about this, but I'm planning on having like a big 1-year celebration thing. I don't really know exactly what my plans are for that. I know at the very least I want it to be like a 10-hour stream, a 12-hour stream, something like that. And I want some sort of viewer interaction. But I don't quite know. Oh, okay, that's weird. First time I've died to the side of that dude like that. I don't quite have the details locked down in my mind. I might have to, like, talk to some people and see what they would like me to do. I know one thing that I want to do, and I'm not sure if I'll have the energy to do it. And I feel totally comfortable talking about that. I would like to start the shorts and shit back up, right? Because, like, as much as I say I am doing this as a hobby, and the viewership stuff doesn't matter. Because it doesn't. It really doesn't. It would be nice to have a little bit of growth and a little bit of a presence elsewhere. I'm just a lazy person. And it takes so much effort to do any of that. Oh shit, I need to be holding the jump button. It's fine. It's fine. Ah! Ah! Oh, fuck me. I didn't even... Oh, I thought I could land on that great thing. That is such a tragic feeling. Okay. That was a lot of progress. I just needed to do that again, but not choke at the end. This stream will end either when it hits 6 p.m. in 15 minutes, or when I beat this level. I think one of the things I'd like to do, and not for the birthday stream, not for the affiliate 1-year anniversary stream, right? But just in general, is I'd like to have another fun thing to do on Mondays. We used to do Cryo's Corner, and we would watch shitty game trailers and movie trailers, etc., right? And that was all dependent on Cryo providing those trailers so that I could watch them fresh. And he's got busy, and I don't blame him for that, right? Like, he has a life, he needs to live. It was really fun while it lasted, and I'm not going to begrudge him for, like, not helping continue it, right? Right? Like, it was fun while it lasted, and I shouldn't dwell on it more than that, right? But the Monday streams are kind of like underwhelming, I guess, is what I would say. But I can't just recreate Cryo's Corner because, like, if I seek out the trailers myself, they won't be fresh, they won't be new. And also, that sort of bit gets old. So I think it stopping when it did was good timing. Because if you just watch a lot of shitty game trailers all the time and always react to them, it's gonna get samey, it's gonna get boring. Even if you see a wild trailer every once in a while, like, you will have seen slop plenty of times in your life. It's best to consume slop while it is fresh and inviting, you know? And it's best not to just continue to consume slop over and over, lest your brain turn to mush. Okay, hold the button. I ran way too early there. Wrong? What about that is wrong? Are you consuming slop on the regular? And enjoying it? I asked the guy who's made videos on the Halo TV show. It's best to pretend it's always good no matter what stage. I see. Is that your MO moving forward? They greenlight another season of the Halo show, and you're gonna be like, oh, actually, I was overreacting. It was actually good the entire time. Marvel's new Avengers movie, actually, 10 out of 10. Yes, pretend it's what you wanted. Good to know. I'm gonna go start a YouTube channel where I just glaze FF7 remake over and over, and I'm just gonna pretend that this is what I wanted all along, guys. I actually always wanted it to be pseudo action combat, because turn-based, that's old and garbage. Who cares about that? I love Angsty Cloud. FF7 Remake was peak fire. On God, no cap. For real, for real. Straight bussin'. I wonder if I'm ever in my life gonna stop finding that particular slang to be just funny as hell. I don't think I will. I think I'll get to a point in my life where that sort of slang is like 20 years out of circulation, and I'll still be making that stupid joke. What the fuck? Why did my momentum just stop? I hit like the very corner of that spiky? Whatever that one is. The sharp guy. And it just made me stop in place. I have never seen that before. There will be new slang. It's true. I'm just kind of curious of like at what point in my life will I stop hearing the new slang, right? I kind of thought by the time I was 30, I would just be like totally out of the loop. You know? It's not like I was in the loop. It kind of happened right there too. It's not like I was even in the loop when I was a teenager, right? You miss Malding? I don't really like that one, personally. Something I don't like, the current trend of the term mogging. And it's not so much that I dislike the term, it's that I dislike how it started off as one thing, but has now become more versatile in its use. And people are using mogging to mean a fair few different things now. Oh, fuck me, that really hit me. Okay, how much time do I have? Oh, I've got 8 fucking minutes. I don't think we're beating this level. You know, I think I chose... Why the fuck did I do that? I think I chose the wrong game to commit myself to, you know? And what I mean by that is, like, if I was playing some other game regularly, say, like a Call of Duty game or something, or if I was, like, playing Zelda games all the time, Zelda hacks or something, I could complain about, like, oh, well, the new ones suck. I hate the direction that this series is going, right? But because I'm playing Mario, and the last Mario games that came out were like all really good, I don't even have any room to complain. I don't have like a fallback. I can't just make rage bait content about Mario anymore. I couldn't at all, right? Like, there's really nothing to be angry about. Like, you could complain that, like, oh, it's been 3 years since Mario Wonder came out. How terrible. Ryo told you he's going to be late because of truck stuff. You assume he's told me? Let me check. I do not have any DMs from him, so thank you for telling me. That doesn't mean that the stream is going to go on extra long because I do need to make food. And I'll just use it as extra time to prepare myself dinner. But it is nice to know that I'm not in, like, a rush. But yeah, if I was playing, like... Oh, Pokemon would be the perfect example. If I was playing, like, Pokemon and a bunch of Pokemon hacks and Pokemon challenge runs and stuff, I could be like, oh my gosh, did you guys see how awful Sword and Shield looked at launch? Ugly game. I can't believe they don't make them like they used to. But because Mario games are still, like, all really good, I can't even do that shit. And in fact, my least favorite, like, some of my least favorite Mario games now are, like, super old. It's not relevant to talk about how much I dislike Mario 3. No one gives a shit. Mario 3 is like 40 years old. Oh, shit. No. I was uncomfortable because I was pressing the A button instead of the B button. Maybe that's what I need to do. I need to find a game I can play on stream that I can just hate on. Hate on the franchise, hate on that particular game or something, you know? I need to find my Halo Infinite. Something I can just complain about. Because I love complaining. If there's one thing I'm never gonna have to fake in my life, right? I'm never gonna have to be... never gonna have to lie about on stream or, like, play it up. It's hatred. I was born a hater, and I have honed my skills to a sharp edge. Speaking of, I hate that I'm bringing this up, but I want to get it off my chest. So, anybody that was around for my Elden Ring streams will know that I complained a lot about Elden Ring to the point where it sounded like I did not like the game, even though I did.
I can't believe you've done this.
Is this where I show up for MCBT? What the hell is MCBT? Also, hi, Axie. Thank you for the resub. I appreciate it. Hope you've been well. Are you going to be at... Yeah, you signed up for tonight. You're going to be at the raid night. You're going to be helping us with... Save Ryu? I think that's the one we're doing. I have no fucking clue. Mario cock and ball torture? Okay, well, that felt like it was out of left field. Thanks for that. Yeah, you can sign up for that here, don't worry. What the fuck? That's the second time that has happened. I have never seen that interaction. Before today, I've never seen that interaction in Mario World. That's tonight. You should probably make sure you have it unlocked. You have probably about an hour because someone is running behind. So yeah, you should go do that. And I'm gonna have to end stream here in a moment. But I really want to get this checkpoint. Like, I really want to get this checkpoint. It's like right there. Fuck. What was I saying before the flashbang that is Mario CBT? Oh, I was talking about Pokemon. That's what I should do. I should just start playing a bunch of Pokemon hacks so that I can anytime there's a lull, anytime there's silence, I can just complain about... Oh, no, Elden Ring, that's what I was talking about. Okay, yes, thank you. I jumped too far back in the conversation. So, anybody that watched me play Elden Ring will know that I was very vocal about the things I disliked, to the point where it sounded like I hated the game, which I don't. I think it's an alright game that has some major flaws. But, the other day, I saw a video that was a 2-hour-long essay by someone called VG Matthew, and it was essentially just a critique of every base game Elden Ring boss. And watching that felt like therapy, because he just kind of understood what my issues were with each individual boss, and with the way bosses are designed in general in that game. And he didn't harp on too long about any one individual point. Right? He just sort of got it. Shit. Right, so if anybody out there is like me and likes to watch people critique game design, or just wants to watch someone shit on Elden Ring for a little bit, a game that he clearly likes as well, right? He seemed to... The criticism comes from a place of... like, care. I would highly recommend VG Matthews' Elden Ring boss critique. It might be titled something like The Problem with Elden Ring's Boss Design, or something along those lines. It's almost 2 hours long, and it's just really insightful. Talked about a lot of the stuff that bothers me with Elden Ring, and even talked about some things I just never thought about. And he says Mohg's one of the best bosses in the game, and he's totally right about that, because Mohg is one of the 2 bosses I liked. One thing worth noting, though, I did not realize how many people just despise the final boss to that game, right? Like, the second phase of the final boss. I guess for me, it was kind of a nothing burger of a boss, and I was fine with that, because I just wanted to be done with the game. But some people just despise Elden Beast for some reason. Mohg is great. Yeah, Mohg is great. Mohg is wonderful. Well, okay, the second encounter with Mohg is wonderful. The first one sucks because his arena sucks. Okay, what the fuck is that, dude? I genuinely don't know why that keeps happening there. Any FF9 players that don't need to worry about spoilers? I mean, I've never personally played FF9, but I don't really care about spoilers for that game. I'll get to it eventually, but it's pretty low on my priority list as far as RPGs go. And I think the only other person in chat right now is Noble, so... It's already 3 minutes past when I said I was going to stop. I need to stop. And it's so close. It's so close. You were just going to compare Elden Beast to the FF9 final boss? Is it equally like a nothing burger? I guess I give Elden Ring props because it looks interesting, right? And I killed it in like 2 attempts, so it was like, yeah, who cares? But if you look at it from a different perspective, where it's just like Radagon would be a better fight to end the game on, I guess I can understand some of the hate for it. Where you beat the final boss and then suddenly it's like, haha, actually this is the final boss, and you're just like, wait, what? Yeah, I guess I get that. But to me, it was just like, yeah, okay, it's just a big dude. He's gonna run away just like every other boss, but he's like a million times easier to chase down than, say, Flippy McGee. If you don't know who Flippy McGee is, that's literally any of the endgame bosses. Oh, and one other thing that I did not know. I did not know that there... Fuck me, dude. How does that keep happening? Like, the one other thing that I took away from the video that was just like, oh, I didn't know that, was that apparently there's an item that lets you parry some of Malakat's moves. That makes the fight a bit less annoying. Horalu to Radagon felt like the better final boss duo. I didn't really like Horalu. I do agree that it is like that would have been better than Horalu, or what's his name? Godfrey Horalu into Radagon into Elden Beast. That seems like a lot. It's too much. But I don't know. Didn't really love Horalu, so. But watching the video, apparently there's an item through one of the quests that makes it so that you can parry some of Malakat's moves. And that would have been, like, really, really nice to know. And just shows another problem I have with Elden Ring's design. If that boss fight, if Malacath is designed in such a way that it's like, no, you need the item, it makes the fight more bearable, but the item is hard to find because it's locked behind a quest line that you just might not do, that seems crazy to me. No! Okay, well, I'm giving up. You almost one-shot Malakath. You only died because one of his projectiles clipped through a pillar. I had a much harder time with the first phase of Malakath. I said I'm giving up, but I'm not. I'm going to give this a few more attempts, and then I'm going to stop. In 3 minutes, I will stop. Because I hate not getting the checkpoint here. Yeah, I had a much harder time with the first phase of Malakath's fight. That shit took me... I want to say Malakath took like 2 hours total across 2 streams because the first stream died. Because I spilled fucking water everywhere. Malakath was a mess for me. But yeah, it would have been really nice to know that there was an item that would just let me parry some of his moves. For free damage. Because my biggest problem with Malakath was just like, oh, okay, he's just gonna flip around everywhere. I'm just gonna have to wait a lot. To be fair, you always played Poison or Bleed builds for the first playthrough, so it's pre-Bleed nerf. I am a bit of the opposite of that. On first playthroughs, I tend to just grab whatever looks interesting and unique. And because I was on stream for my first playthrough, I decided to do like a themed build, and it was fire and ice. And the ice was nice, but the fire, not that much. That shit's fucking annoying. That shit right there is really annoying, hitting just the very edge of that. Because like I can't account for that. I can't hold right there because I need the momentum from the slide. That's why Dark Souls 2 sucks so bad for you, since 99% of the bosses are resistant to slash damage, which is just dumb. Oh, Axie, are you an enlightened Dark Souls 2 hater? All the cool kids hate Dark Souls 2. Or at least think it's the worst one. You loved Dark Souls 2 PvP. Okay, but we're not talking about the PvP, we're talking about the PvE. No, okay. That's the limit. That's the limit there. Unfortunately, the stream has to end now. I have to go. I have about 20, probably 30 minutes to make myself some food before raid night. I will be streaming tomorrow, and the day after, and the day after. If y'all feel like tuning in, then please do. I'm gonna go now. Thanks for tuning. Thanks for watching today. Thanks for chatting. Goodbye.